Okay, so we are finally over with our introductory videos and we can get to actual course. So, this first video is my favorite topic, text completion. Let's do this. Text completion tasks are, in fact, the sentences with gaps in them. And your task is, what a surprise, to fill that gap. Tasks of this type are used to test your vocabulary and, to a certain extent, logic. There are three different subtypes of text completion tasks. Standard ones have one gap and 5 answer variants, and you have to choose only one of them. Double tasks contain 2 gaps, and you are presented with a total sum of 6 answer variants, 3 for each gap. And triple tasks have 3 gaps with 3 answer choices each, so 9 in total. It might seem that double and triple gap tasks are easier as you choose each answer out of 3 variants instead of 5, like the standard ones. But these tasks are actually structured in such a way that you should definitely know which word stands in one gap to make a correct choice for the other one. Because of this feature, test takers usually spend more time on double and triple gap questions and are more likely to make a mistake there. Moreover, the value of standard double and triple question in points is absolutely the same, 1 point. For this reason, some teachers advise to skip doubles and triples and return to them later, if you have time, that is. While such strategy is easily understandable and if you have problems with double and triple text completion you can use it, you are not obliged to follow it. If text completion is your strong side, you probably do not want to skip these tasks in favor of the other ones. Now, let's get to the mechanism of solving these questions. First of all, you read and understand the task. You skip the blanks, you pay no attention to them. So, emphasis here is on understanding. An ideal situation is, of course, the one in which test taker does both at the same time. So you read and understand at the same time, but this is GRE we are talking about, so sometimes you will need to read a couple of times, maybe rephrase it, and only then you will understand it completely. By understanding, I do not mean the meaning of the exact meaning of every single word, just the gist. So if you understand the gist, you are okay. If you have problems with getting past this point, it is certainly a good idea to work on your English language skills before you continue preparation to the GRE test. And for now, remember, you have not filled the blanks yet. Step number 2. You still do not look at the answers, you do not fill the blanks, you just attempt to make your own prediction of the answer. So, we all know how the sentences work, and we can quite easily tell if a verb or an adjective should be in the place of a blank. Try to understand that and prepare your own variant or two of what word can possibly be there. If you completed point 1 and you understand everything that you have to understand, point 2 will be easy for you. And now, point 3. You look through answer choices and you seek for familiar ones. So you seek for the words that you completed yourself or synonymical words to them. And at that point, if you see something familiar, you're good. You just take that choice. And sometimes it happens, you cannot find something familiar, probably you missed something in the text, so return to point 1 and try to understand, simplify, and so on. And when you have the answer choices that you need to put, you just click the answer and move to the next task. You have completed this text completion exercise. Now, sequence of actions is probably clear, but let us take a look at a sample text completion task. So right now, pause the video and try to solve it yourself. When you have the answer, unpause and we shall check. The company's efforts to improve safety were apparently something, at least according to the company's own data, which showed that the incidents with the potential to cause a serious accident declined significantly. Nevertheless, independent analysts argue that those statistics are These analysts maintain that the company has consistently underestimated both the probability and the likely effects of accidents in a sensitive and poorly understood environment in which the company is operating. Now, I chose triple blank for this exercise because it is one of the harder ones and it will be easier to explain why some people would like to skip them and how do you solve them if you have to solve them. So, first of all, we have no idea what the word should be, but we can try to make a guess. So, the company's efforts to improve safety were apparently either successful or unsuccessful. We cannot tell at this point, so there is no sense in looking for the answer choices. At least according to the company's own data, which showed that the incidents. Now, here, there are different probabilities too. It could be an adjective in this place. It could be something like a number of incidents or the number of incidents. And this is uncertain. We cannot put anything here. Moving on. Nevertheless, independent analysts argue that those statistics are. Here it is a little bit more clear. The word nevertheless shows a contradiction between the first part and the second part of the task. If these analysts maintain that the company has consistently underestimated something, they probably failed at their statistics. So I would guess that the third blank should say something like false or not true. With this information, we can go to the second and the first one. So, the company's efforts to improve safety were apparently, well, if the contradictory statement is that they were unsuccessful, here it should probably be successful, or some of its synonyms. And the third one is easy when we know the other two, so here should be something like the number of incidents declined. Well, let's check the answer choices and look if we were correct. Blank number 1, innovative, successful or frustrated. Successful, this is a 100% what we need. Innovative doesn't fit here at all, and frustrated, well, efforts cannot be frustrated whatsoever, so we cannot choose it. Then, number 2. We put the number of, but there is no number. Is there something similar? Yes. Variant D says frequency. Frequency in this context is approximately the same as the number of incidents, and we can substitute one with another. Variant D is correct here. The third blank. This one should be hard. False should stay in the place of third gap, but here we have deceptive, testable, and consistent. Now, if you know all the words, it is easy. You put deceptive and move on. But what if not? Deceptive means someone who tells false information or is simply false, so it is a synonym in our case. Testable doesn't fit because it means something that you are able to test, and consistent, I hope you know this word. If not, look it up. Consistent just doesn't fit this blank at all. Now, a friendly reminder, answering 1 or 2 blanks correctly out of 3 does not give you any points. You either do everything correctly or get no points at all. Also, do not forget that you have about 2 minutes to complete one text completion task, so try not only to solve everything correctly, but also to do so quickly. So, to sum up, Step 1. Read and understand the task. Skip the blanks. Step 2. Attempt to make your own prediction of the answer. Step 3. Look through the answer choices. Step 4. Answer. Okay, so I hope text completion is easy for you now, but do not forget to practice because the best theory is nothing without practicing. So right now you have some time, so get yourself together and do a couple of exercises. Maybe a couple more, then 10 more, well, you get the idea. Thank you for the attention.